Greetings to you. I'm Keith Massey. As we all continue to plod through this pandemic, I wanted to share a couple of stories from when the world was normal. I teach Latin at a public high school in New Jersey. Go Leonia Lions! Now, teachers typically have 5 classes in their schedule, and the remaining periods are a combination of prep periods and also some duty periods. A duty could be, for instance, helping sign in students who arrive to school late. I've had that particular duty quite frequently. In fact, I have fun with it. As the students are arriving on time, I am always already in the main lobby, ready for that duty, and I have a thing I do. I say with enthusiasm to arriving students, even ones I don't personally teach, "Welcome to school!" Students usually just smile. They may say thank you. And I have overheard Latin students in the halls telling other students about me, and they say, he's the welcome to school guy. Anyway, 2 years ago, when the world was normal, 2 of my 3 duty periods were to walk the halls after lunch, and the third was to monitor the cafeteria during one of the lunch periods. Early on in that year, I was noticing that I was picking up a lot of random coins that kids were accidentally dropping during lunch. And if you think about it, lunch is a time when students are digging into purses and pockets for money. It's a natural time for money to accidentally fall to the ground, whether in the cafeteria itself, elsewhere in the halls, around the vending machines, whatever. Now, if I ever saw a student drop money, I would of course tell them immediately that I just saw them drop that money. Interestingly, some, not all, but some students, if the money dropped was a penny or a nickel or even a dime, they would look at it and say they didn't care. Some would admit that if they dropped or saw a quarter on the ground, they would pick that up, but anything smaller, they wouldn't bother. On one occasion, a student was getting up from a table on which there clearly sat a dime and a penny. I said, "Aren't you going to take that change?" He said, "Why? What can 11 cents buy you these days?" As if he remembers a time long ago when 11 cents was really worth something. Anyway, I have a colleague and friend who shares my love of McDonald's, and I was telling her as I began finding this money that I wondered if maybe, just maybe, could we eat our beloved Big Macs at the end of the year only on found money? And so any money I found went in an envelope we kept in her desk that year. Her particular duties that year were not going to be able to contribute to this project, but since she teaches math, I was happy to have her handle the tabulation part of this. As the school year finally wound down, my last hall duty that year happened just before final exams. I remember finding 4 pennies, a nickel, 2 dimes, and a quarter that final day. It was time to count the money for the grand total. We had been counting as we went, keeping track of it on the envelope and putting pennies in another envelope altogether. Here's the final tally. $22.90. And that's not counting the pennies, which probably totaled at least another $4. On a day during final exams, we went to McDonald's, and our order, each of us getting a Big Mac, large fries, and a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, came to about that much. We took all the pennies and the nickels and put them in the Ronald McDonald House Charities receptacle. We had separated the quarters and dimes into dollars to use them without too much inconvenience for the McDonald's staff. And so it happened. We did indeed have 2 people eat McDonald's using found money. Now, in closing, I want to make sure that you don't think I have a low opinion of young people just because maybe at this point in their lives they don't completely understand that 100 pennies adds up to $1. Let me show you again our found money. You will notice there is a $5 bill in here. One day when I was on cafeteria duty, I noticed something under the bench of one of the tables. As I picked it up, I realized it was this $5 bill. I said aloud, "Whose $5 bill is this?" Kids in the vicinity checked their pockets and purses and one by one answered, "It's not mine." I said, well, someone dropped it. If any one of you just says this is your $5 bill, I'm giving it to you. And each one said in turn words to the effect of, it's not mine, so that would be lying. Keep in mind, despite what they think of pennies and nickels, these aren't rich kids. It's not like $5 means nothing to them. But what clearly matters more to them is their honesty and integrity. And so I have to say, anyone who thinks the world is going downhill because of kids these days simply doesn't spend enough time with young people. And I watch them every day, most of them only through a Google Meet, going through this nightmare of a pandemic and everything it has taken from them. And like all of us, they are just doing their best. And I am very proud of them. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Be well. Stay safe. God bless.